All right, welcome back. Let's look at question 3. Question 3 asks us to find the demand equilibrium. It asks us to rearrange the demand equilibrium to obtain the IS curve. Okay. So all we need to remember is that the IS curve gives us I as a function of y, right? Because when you plot it, and I can only remember this graphically, so I mean, as you like, but I just always remember that y goes on the x-axis and I goes on this axis, and it's a demand curve, so it's downward sloping. Yeah. And so we have two problems. One is that this slope is positive, right? This is strictly positive, so it's not a negative slope. And two is that I is on the right hand side. So this is y is equal to a function of I, but we want I is equal to a function of y. Yeah. So our job is just to get rid of all this. Okay, never mind. That's a lot of clicking. Our job is just to rearrange the function. So let's do it. We just need to divide by k, so we can get y over k equals a minus c1t minus zi. I want the I to be positive, yeah, so let's flip-flop. Let's do like a flippy-floppy, like this. So we get zi is equal to a minus c1t minus y over k, and then we can divide everybody by z. So I is equal to 1 over z, a minus c1t minus 1 over zk y. And we're done. So this is all we had to do for that one. Lastly, it says find an expression for interest rates in the ISTR equilibrium. So what are we looking for here? Graphically, we are looking for the intersection. Again, let's draw this graph. We have the y here and the I here. And this is our IS curve. This is exactly this right here. And then we need a TR curve, right? And the TR curve is this right here, right? And when we're asking for the equilibrium, that means we want this point right here. So what we want is an equation that will give us this point right there. Okay, so how do we find it? We have to set IS and TR equal, because that will give us that one point right there, right? So let's do it. We have an equation for I. We're going to get I0. Well, okay, hold on. I was about to charge ahead. I was going to do something foolish. So you think, great, I have an equation for I here. I have an equation for I here. Let's put them together. That'll actually get rid of the i's, right? And we want to solve for I. So what you would have to do is you'd have to solve that. You would work, and you would get an equation for y, because that's the only thing left. And then you would have to take that equation for y and plug it back in to get I. I propose instead, what we do is we go back to this equation. Yeah? Because this equation and this equation are the same thing. They're just shuffled around. So let's go back to this equation, and let's just plug this equation into I. So I'll erase our hard work down here, and so we can make room for algebra. Okay, so since they're the same, it's totally equivalent to write like this. Let's factor the beta through first. So we're going to have beta, and then let's factor through the k. Let me do it in steps. So I'll write beta y minus beta y bar. Now I want to bring in the y, and I want to factor through the beta. So we'll have plus beta ka minus beta k c1t minus beta k zi. And then we're not done because we need this one more. So we have minus beta y bar. Okay, we need to gather our i's. So let's take this to the other side. We'll have I plus beta k zi is equal to I0 plus beta ka beta k c1t and beta y. Factor out the I, so we get 1 plus beta k z times I equals ... and then let's divide. So I is equal to I0 divided by 1 plus beta kz. Now we have a beta k here, a beta k here, a beta k here, a beta k here, so we can factor that out to make it a little more beautiful, right? So we'll have beta k over 1 plus beta kz. Then we have a minus c1t. And then we have minus beta over 1 plus beta kz y bar. And that is our expression. So now you see there's no variables, there's no endogenous variables in this at all. Every single one of these is a parameter given to us. So for any, you tell me the model, right? You set all of these parameters, you tell me what all of these numbers are, and then I can just give you what is I star. Okay, and that's the value of this equation. And actually, this is the whole model. This is the solution to the model, because now you don't even need to do any of that graphic analysis, right? We do all this stuff where, you draw the lines and then the one line shifts and it goes from here to here, and you tell this story about yada, yada, yada. You just plug in the numbers, right? We're at this point at I0 star. You change one of these variables, right? You change beta, and then we go up to here. If beta is positive, I'm not sure. Is beta positive? I guess it depends on these relative terms. But you see my point, right? Whatever happens, you can just represent it inside of this equation, and then you can tell me what is the consequences for the interest rate, and then as a result, you can tell me what the consequences for the output are. Right, and how do we get output? We just replace I with I star in this equation, and you're done. Okay, so that is the week 2 exercises that I gave you. Stick around, and I'll do the exercises that we looked at in week 3.